Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be Becoming a Better Man. Well, I've got an email here from a guy who first found my work, like probably 90% of the people that first come to me. His 7-year marriage had ended. He was lost, his self-esteem was in the toilet, and he was not in a very happy place. So he details all the great things that have happened to him, the experiences that he's had with turning his life around. He's gotten in great shape. His career's doing well. He's very happy. He's had a lot of really interesting experiences with women over the past year. And he's happier than he's ever been. And it's a great way to start the week with a success story of somebody that was in a really bad, dark place when they first found my work. And it's a great inspiration for those of you that are maybe not as far along in your journey of recovery, if you will, getting over a breakup, or maybe you're not where you ultimately want to be. But it's a good success story to inspire you to keep fucking grinding. Like the great Ray Lewis said, grinding is my rest. Because there's going to come days in life where you don't feel like doing what you want to, you know you need to do. It feels like it's going to take forever to get to where you want to be. And all you're really going to be left with is willpower and grinding and doing little goals, breaking down the big goal into little that you want to achieve down into little daily goals. And as long as you do that, as long as you're, because remember, success is making progress. And at least if you're taking action and you're moving towards where you want to be, you're going to feel a lot better. Just remember, inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action tends to breed confidence and courage. I think that was one of Dale Carnegie's quotes that he said. So with that said, I got a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then we're going to go through this guy's email. And the quote says, Benjamin Franklin once said that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Smart people understand the importance of learning from those who have more skills, experience, and success than they do, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and do everything on their own. No matter what you want to do or become in life, there are usually many people who have gone before you and made all of the expensive and costly mistakes that you can avoid by learning from them and what to do instead. Most people spend little to no time learning from those who have what they consider an ideal and successful life. Successful people are no different or smarter than the average person, but what sets them apart is their laser-like focus on filling in their knowledge gaps and persevering to find the quickest and most efficient path to achieving their goals. Unsuccessful people are focused on earning a living and getting through the work week, while successful people are focused on discovering and perfecting their skills to make attainment of their outcomes possible. I said this a lot in previous videos that I've done over the years. I'm no different than anybody else. Even Steve Jobs said that. One of the things that Steve Jobs said is that everything that we see as the physical world around us, it was built by people that are no smarter than you or I. So it's like, what sets successful people apart from those that are unsuccessful, if you will? Like for me personally, I'm not any smarter than anybody else. The only difference is I tend to apply better success principles than most people. In other words, I have knowledge that the majority of people are just never going to invest. Just like you watching the video, you're investing time because you want to learn, you want to get better. Unfortunately, most people that you're going to encounter in this world, they're not willing to do these things. They're so focused on getting a paycheck, paying their bills, earning a living, getting through the week. And typically when you hand them a book like mine or another self-help type book, they go, oh, I don't have time for that. I'll never get around to it. I'm just so busy, but if I get some time, or I don't have the money. There's always some excuse, and that's just the story that they tell themselves. So it's always best for those of you that are eager to share this stuff with your friends and family, that you share with people that are open to it. Because at the end of the day, don't beat your head against the wall trying to help somebody that just doesn't want to be helped. They have to be open to it. So let's go through his email. He says, hey coach, I hope you're doing well. I'm a 32-year-old South American guy living in Europe for many years. I've been following your work for 1 year now. Before finding your work on the internet, I was going through a devastating period in my life. Well, most people, when they first find me, something's gone sideways. Either they don't their job sucks, or they lost their job, or their lover left them, or their marriage got busted up, or they had to move to another part of the country or the world, or they lost all their money. Some calamity has happened. People don't usually come to me when things are going great and they're happy. They come to me when they're looking for solutions. They realize that their strategy or the way they're going about things is not working for them. I broke up with my ex almost after 7 years of marriage, and I was really lost, and I had a lot of doubts about myself, women, and the future. I mean, when you spend 7 years of your life with the same person, your whole identity becomes associated with being in a relationship with them. And so the key for any of you that are licking your wounds, if you will, from a breakup and you're trying to get over it, is you got to focus on getting back to being that person you were before you met the ex. And that may require reconnecting with friends that you may have blown off. That may require you to get involved in old hobbies that you gave up because your wife or your girlfriend said that you needed to do that in order to make her happy, in which you did that and it didn't work out. But it's what typically happens. A lot of guys, like, they don't know who they are anymore because they've spent so much of their life, 7 years in this particular guy's case, becoming what the other person said they wanted or needed. And then by the time a relationship ends, you're no longer that same person. You don't have the same friends. You're not doing the same hobbies, the same things that you once used to do. And you're no longer that exciting, interesting, fun-loving guy who had his own goals and his own friends and his own hobbies and interests in life. And one of the interesting things that I talked about in a video I did a few weeks ago, 12 Principles of a Successful Relationship. All relationships that stand the test of time, that is one characteristic that they all have in common, which is that both people in the relationship, they maintain their individuality. In other words, when they're together with somebody, they're there to share their completeness. They don't stop being who they were before they met. And a lot of people, a lot of men and women do that. They give up everything that they were because they think, I got to sacrifice all I am and start something new with this person. And what happens is you literally become a different person in the relationship. You're not the same person that you once were. So the key is focusing on you and taking care of you. That's why so much about getting an ex back or recovering from a breakup is not about learning a pickup line or dressing a certain way or saying things a certain way. It's really about you and focusing on yourself and creating a life and lifestyle that you can be happy and proud of, even though your ultimate goal is you may be 15, 20 years out before you ever get to where you really want to be. But at least if you got a vision for your life, something that's emotionally compelling to you, something that you love, that you're passionate about, and you're trying to become, at least you know where you're going, and you have a vision, and you're taking action to make that happen. That makes you feel enthusiastic. That makes you feel happy. The happier you are, the more inclined you're going to be to take care of your body, to eat right, all those things. It's just like a snowball effect. And it's just like the quote I shared in the beginning, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, from Benjamin Franklin. And it's a great way to look at things in life. Instead of turning the boob tube on or TV and spacing out, buy a book. Download an audiobook of something. Get a paperback book of something that you've always wanted to learn about, or something that you're curious about or you're interested in, to learn new knowledge that you didn't know before. Like in my free time, that's one of the things I do more than anything is I'm reading or listening to something. I'm always trying to learn new things about what happens to be going on, or it's something that I have to be interested in or I want to learn about. I started having problems with my sleep, and it lasted for a long time. I started to lose a lot of weight as well. Fortunately, I'm not that type of person who gives in so easily, so I decided that I had to do something about it. And that sentence right there, he got to the point where basically he hit bottom. He realized that the way he was going about his life wasn't working. And in those moments when somebody hits the wall metaphorically, that's when they're open to change. That's when they've come to realize that their model of the world or their operating system or the way they go about achieving the things they want in their life, they realize, you know what? My plan is fucked. It ain't working. It ain't getting me the results I want. And then they start looking for answers. And that's usually when they find me. Before I found out about your work, I wasn't doing well with women either. After all those years of marriage, I had kind of forgotten how to approach and communicate with them. I talk to guys that have been married with the same woman 30, 40 years, and the last time they asked a girl out, they were like 16 years old when they asked their future wife out for the first date. So you got a guy that's like in his 50s or his 60s, and the last time he asked a girl out on a date, he was literally a teenager living at home with mom and dad. And as an adult, he's never done that because he's been with the same woman his whole life. So obviously, you think, what do you think is going to happen to a guy that's older? He's going to be thinking, oh, I'm too old. I don't look as good. What are they going to think? All these things going through his mind. My game was crap. It was making the whole situation even worse by lowering my self-esteem, and I started to believe that women didn't want me and I wasn't a catch anymore as I used to be in the past. You can't help but feel that way sometimes. Sometimes life, you're just going to feel hopeless. And you know what? That's okay. It's important when you feel like that and you're alone that you take time to feel it and heal it. Maybe even say that. I feel like my life is hopeless. I feel like it's never going to fucking work out. I feel like I'm never going to find another woman. Or the next girl I find is not going to be better than the one I had that I just dumped or I broke up with. Or that next job I'm not going to make as much money or it's not going to be as fun. And we all have to deal with that. We all have to deal with those negative mindsets, and some of us have to also deal with negative jackasses that are in our lives telling us about all of our shortcomings and how we're never going to be able to do what we want. And we shouldn't have done what we did in the past, and we're just idiots and all that kind of stuff. So in those moments, that's where grinding, like the Ray Lewis quote I shared, grinding is my rest. So even when you feel like that, you take time to feel it and heal it and dissolve and move through it. But at the end of the day, you got to fucking grind. That's all there is at the end of the day is grinding, even when you don't feel like it. Going to the gym when you don't fucking feel like it. Making those phone calls when you don't feel like it, when you know you need to change a job. Or following up with resumes you may put in someplace, even though in your mind you're thinking, oh, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to get out of this shitty job that I'm in now. Or I'm never going to find another job. It's like you have to take action. Remember, inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action breeds confidence and courage. Imperfect action is better than no action at all. And as Panache Desai said, life happens when you move. Stagnation happens when you die. I started to watch your videos on YouTube, and then I bought your book, which I've read 3 times so far. Well, I would say that's one critique. 3 times in a whole year, dude? Come on, man. You got to step up your game. Now that the Audible version is out, it's on iTunes, it's on audible.com. Links are on my website, or you can go to iTunes, or you can go to Audible and just Google my name, Corey Wayne. It'll come up. You have no excuses now. I made it really easy for you. In the course of 1 year, I changed a lot. Sometimes it feels like I'm not the same person anymore. It was a hard and painful process to get rid of my weaknesses and to become a better man, but I did it, and I would do it all over again. Because like you have to take it, especially like when you're in a relationship for that long, it's like you're going to have doubts about yourself. You're going to be fearful because it's been so long since you interacted with women in that particular way. And some guys, it's, you know, when it's been many decades, it's a scary thing. But the only way you get better is by taking action. And you got to give yourself permission to fail. That's the reality of it. When it comes to asking women out, most of them are going to reject you. Most of them are not going to be interested in you. That's okay, because all you need is one good one. Since I started to apply the things you teach, everything changed. I learned that as a man, I had to focus on my goals, my purpose, and my mission in life. Well, at the end of the day, that's what being a man is all about. That embodies masculine energy. Purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing, breaking through barriers. That's what a man is all about. That is the embodiment of masculine energy. And you ask 10 random women, do you like a guy with goals and ambition? They'll all shake their heads and go, oh yeah, absolutely. Nobody will say, no, I want a guy who's going to sit at home and want to drink beer and eat pizza all day and get fat on the couch. A man's main purpose in life can't be just getting laid. Exactly. That's why I don't focus on those things, because it's really about how you feel about yourself, because how you perceive yourself and how you feel about yourself is how other people are going to perceive you. So that's why the most important thing is the inner game, what's going on between your ears. That determines your success or failure in life. I became more confident and centered. I became a more confident and centered man with emotional self-control, and you know what? Women find it very attractive. I will mention some of the things that happened in my life in the course of 1 year since I started following your work. So he's got like 11 of his greatest hits, if you will. I'll go through them one by one. Number 1, I'm in the best shape ever, and I'm still getting better. Notice what he said. I'm still getting better. What does that tell me? As a coach, he's focused on one of the most important things you can do as a human being. Trying to get a little better each and every day. Right now, we're right in the middle of the playoffs for the NBA. Pay attention when people do those courtside interviews, because before, during, and after the game, what do they say? I'm just trying to get a little better each and every day. I'm just trying to be a better teammate each and every day. Even the coaches, we're just trying to get better as a team. Anybody that doesn't understand that doesn't really understand the mindset of coaching or be a professional athlete, hears that and they go, these are the best players in the world, and this is the end of the season, and they're trying to get better as a team? The average person would hear that and go, that doesn't compute. That's why the great people, the great CEOs, the great athletes, the great coaches, they're always trying to get better. They're always looking for an edge. Some girls even say that I look 10 years younger than I am. Well, when you're in good shape, you take care of yourself, you eat good, healthy, alkaline foods, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better. I'm 46. Most people tell me I still get people telling me I look 28. I think early 30s, but I mean, it's flattering, but what I usually hear is early 30s, what people tell me. So I tend to look 12, 15 years younger than I am, which is great. Because all my buddies that I went to high school with, most of them, they look like shit. It's like they look like people ready to retire and hanging up and sit in the porch rocking in a hammock or on a swing or something. Number 2, I've become much calmer and centered person. Well, remember what Bill Murray, the actor, one of his mentors when he was in his 20s, and his career was starting to take off, and he told him, he says, you will do your best work when you're relaxed. So whenever you do anything, whether it's stand up or you're acting on camera, make sure your life and your lifestyle supports you being in a relaxed state. So when you do things and you know that the results are predictable, like applying my book, that gives you certainty. And the more certainty you have, the more confidence you're going to have. What is confidence? Confidence is doing what you know how to do and doing it really well. And the only way you get to do things really well is time and repetition. This guy definitely applied himself, and that's why he's getting these results. Number 3, I have also become a much happier person, and everybody notices it. Some of them are really amazed at how much I've changed in such a short period of time. So you're fired up with enthusiasm. Vince Lombardi said, the great football coach, he said, if you're not fired with enthusiasm, you will be fired with enthusiasm at the end of the season. And you also can notice that some of the teams that they're pretty evenly matched, the one that usually wins, you can tell or you see a team get blown out, you look at the body language of the players. You can tell who showed up to play and who didn't, who believes they can win and who doesn't. And I mean, at this point in the NBA playoffs at the end of the year, you got the best of the best teams, the best coaches, the best players. These are the best out of 7.5 billion people. You got 100 players on these teams total that are in the playoffs. I think we're down to eight teams now, 15 players a team. I mean, do the math. 7.5 billion people. You got a handful of people that are the best in the world physically at basketball. It's pretty cool to watch that. You can pick up a lot by just listening to the interviews and these guys talking about themselves and what they got to focus on, how they recover from a shitty game or a tough loss. Number 4, I now have a great friendship with my ex. Good for you, dude. The only exes that I keep in my life are women that have a good attitude and are easy to get along with and are great fucking communicators. Anybody else, they got deleted. And those are the only kind of people you should have as friends in your life as well. They don't communicate like an adult. They're not calm. They're not easy to get along with. Don't waste your time. Because remember, if you got toxic people in your life, what are they going to add to your life? Stress. Remember, you do your best work when you're in a peaceful and relaxed state. So make sure the people in your life, your peer group, and what you do for a living supports you being peaceful and relaxed as much as possible. I become a better father as well because now I love life, I love myself, and therefore I have so much love to give them. Well, you can't give away what you don't have for yourself, and that's a great gift. You took care of your own shit, you took care of your own life, and now you can teach your children how to achieve the things they want in life and be happy. A leader leads by example, not by force. Sun Tzu said that. So good job for you, dude. Good job with you taking care of you and becoming a great parent. Because now your kid won't have to go through all the bullshit that you've gone through in life. And the idea with your children is you want them to get better. You want them to have it a little easier than you did. Be a little bit more successful. Get a little further in life than you did. Number 6, I have never felt so confident before, both in my professional and in my private life as well. Well, when you feel like you're making progress towards your goals, that's going to build your confidence. That's going to make you feel happy. And the happier you are, guess what? The healthier you're going to be as well. Number 7, I've been dating several women and most of them are younger than me. Number 8, a dream came true in 2015. Guess what? I had a threesome with a blonde and a brunette. Ha ha. Good for you, dude. Whatever fucking floats your boat, man. Number 9, I'm taking a degree besides my job and I'm doing really well. Awesome. So it sounds like you're continuing to invest in knowledge. And as Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. It's like when you read my book, you watch these videos. It's not only you learn from my life experience, but you're learning from all the thousands and thousands of successful people I've been studying all my life since I was a teenager. And all the thousands of people they learned from and studied and perfected. So you literally, if you think of it, you get thousands of years of knowledge in these videos, if you want to look at it that way. Number 10, besides your book, I've also read some other personal growth books. And if you're interested in the other books that I recommend, go to my website, click the products tab, and then you'll see other self-help products. There's a list of, 50, 60 different things, whether they're books or a juicer or self-help related things or audiobooks that you can download or check out on Amazon that I recommend that are great complements to my book and what you're learning. He says, I've read The Power of Now. I believe that's an Eckhart Tolle one. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. The 5 Love Languages, that one's from Gary Chapman, which is a really great book, which you recommend on your website. I also started doing meditation as well, which has become one of my passions. Well, meditation can be great. Just taking 10 or 15 minutes to close your eyes and zen out, if you will, that'll help put you in a peaceful and relaxed state. And that's something you can do in your car. When you're thinking about going into work, get there 10, 15 minutes early, put some relaxing music on, close your eyes, zen out in your car, and then go in and work. Number 11, I met an Eastern European girl 10 years younger than me last year who was an exchange student. She's hot, and she has this bright personality. We hung out, had fun, and hooked up for 4 months before she went back to her home country. The time I had with this girl was amazing. Nothing can compare with having sex with a girl that knocks your socks off. Not even a threesome. I absolutely agree. And you know what the fucking tragedy is? 99% of the people in this world will never know what it's like to be with somebody that is their ultimate. And that's a fucking tragedy. To go all through your whole fucking life and never know what that's like to make love to another human being's soul. Not just their body, but their fucking soul. Somebody that you feel like you were destined to meet and to be with. Where everything's in sync. You complete each other's sentences. You feel like it's meant to be. It's fucking magical. The first time you have an experience like that, it fucking changes your life forever. You're never the same. It's like driving a Ferrari or a Lambo. Once you get used to that, I mean, a Toyota Camry's nice, but ain't nothing like a Lambo. Thank you so much for changing my life. And I know I'm the one who made all these accomplishments, but I don't think I could have done it without your help and guidance. Well, I'm glad I could help you fill in your knowledge gaps so you can turn your life around and do well. And I think it's awesome, dude. You're creating a life and lifestyle that you want, that makes you happy as an individual. And that's what it's all about. Finding a way to spend your life in your own way. So if you'd like to get my help personally, go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book whichever coaching option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.